Hey, everybody.
Hitty-hoo!
Welcome to the Stabcast.
I'm Mizzle.
And I'm Dizzle, and we're here on another spooky Sunday. We're here just at the end of March here, and we're here to talk about fall.
Uh-huh.
And this is a special episode. This is a movie that actually was kind of a hit and kind of a success. And it did well. I think it made about $21 million on a budget of $3 million.
And an 8-minute short story, too, y'all.
Yeah.
The director did this as a 8-minute short story for his final.
Yeah.
For his final exam.
Yeah.
And it ended up being a full-length production.
Uh-huh.
And it's really cool. We're going to talk to you about all that stuff and whatnot. Daniel, what did you think about it?
I thought it was a pretty good movie. I thought it was fun. I like these, not claustrophobic. I like these movies that play on phobias and that play on, especially height type stuff like this. Like if somebody falls and like by themselves. This reminded me of the one that we saw where the group of friends get stuck on the ski lift.
Oh, Frozen.
Yeah, and it reminds me of that. But except, I mean, obviously it's a different backdrop, but it reminds me of that type of vibe.
You're right. It's the same. It's the same type of movie. You're right.
And I love shit like that. That is my type of style, and I like how because there's psychological scenes, there's scary scenes, there's shit.
That's
with
also
nature.
we like The Descent so much, right?
Yeah, but that's a little more like Monsters in the Cave type deal, but
still survival.
Yeah. And shit like that James Franco movie too, when he's stuck in the cave at the bottom.
Okay.
I think 48, something like that. But I like these type of movies because it plays on real life shit. Mm-hmm. And real life shit's sometimes the scariest shit. There's
Absolutely.
not a big monster there's not a scary plot. There's not all this like planning and shit. Sometimes life just happens and it can be scary in its own right.
Nature is a scary bitch.
And sometimes you could just be climbing or doing an everyday thing and you're in this fucked up situation where everything's going wrong. And I like when we can explore into that and see, and it never goes too crazy. Besides like the twist at the end, but even that is a realistic twist that could happen to somebody in real life.
Exactly.
So I think everything about this movie, I think it's paced phenomenally. I think it's shot well. And I think for 4 people in the cast and 2 that really carry it, but almost an all-star cast of like really good actors that all have chops.
Hunter and Becky did a great job.
Yeah, the fact Hunter and Becky make the movie because it's all about them. But then the 2 people that just kind of have cameos in this are fucking Mason Gooding, of Scream fame and all this other shit, and who's really become the man in Hollywood lately.
Scream.
He has become the guy. Yes, he has become the guy. And then you have fucking Negan, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, who's been in everything.
I kept that away from you because I knew you were going to be pissed.
Oh, yeah. I was I wasn't pissed. I was excited to see him because it's like, oh, this is it. Because going into this, I forgot that this was kind of a big movie that did well. And I thought that this was another
Well, so did I. I thought it was an indie movie. Yeah. I found it on Peacock before it even went to Hulu.
Yeah.
So I thought it was an indie movie.
But it's a movie that was actually very well done and very well received. Mm. And watching it, I can see why.
And I'm sorry, but I'm gonna ask you a quick question here. Even though it was dark, could you still see?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you can see perfectly. But you're also, a lot of the shit's in the daytime, too.
I know, but like when they're at nighttime scenes, like you can still see what's going on.
Yeah. And by the way, not to curse you out or nothing.
Here we go.
But fuck you for telling me that Mason Gooding's in this movie. Because you're all like, yeah, he's in the movie.
I knew that was the only way I was going to get to watch it.
You made me think he was starring in it, though. I didn't know he was in it. And then he died, and I'm like, oh, great. Thanks, Mindy.
Yeah, you're Mason Gooding fan. I'll just let you know. He had like an even shorter death than Cotton Weary.
My boy didn't have the fucking radio silence plot armor this time. You can't stab him 32 times and still make it out. You take one bad fall.
Yeah, but you need one realistic movie where he dies. He can't survive everything.
That's true.
Okay, he survived a lot. He can't survive it all.
And that was a pretty nasty fall.
I mean, and also, as a rock, not as a rock climber. I'm not a rock climber, but he was rock climbing.
Yeah.
And the number one rule of rock climbing is you do not stick your hand in a random ass hole.
No.
And that's what he did. And that's what spooked him and got him dangling in the air. That's your first mistake. Second mistake is do not ask your wife to lower you. You don't need more rope. If he would have just hung there and waited for Hunter,
Yeah.
he would have been fine.
Yeah.
But I'm convinced that the fact that he asked her for more rope caused him to be able to fall.
Yes. And I love the scene. I think it really sets the tone for the movie.
Oh, beautifully shot.
And especially, and it kind of shows you that, like, oh, if you're scared of heights, maybe don't watch this one. Because right from the bat, it kind of plays on that phobia.
Yeah, it does kind of throw you right into that. I didn't even think about that. I should have gave you some sort of warning.
And that's the only thing about the backdrop that makes Hunter seem like such a terrible human being. Because it's like, why the fuck would you propose a climb 1 year later? I know about throwing his ashes and all that shit.
It's because Becky's father knew that Becky was only lively when it came to Hunter.
Yeah.
So Hunter came back, even though she had a job to do, which was the radio tower. And
Yeah.
she came back and she tried to get Becky back into the groove. I don't blame Hunter for what she did.
I do blame her. We just saw somebody die from climbing shit. Maybe take a couple more than a year
Yeah,
off.
but they were tethered.
I don't give a fuck. You're done. No more climbing. Someone died. I'm done now. That's the thing. It's like you keep fucking, you do all the bad shit, and then someone dies in the group. You're like, all right, we're gonna.
Well, they were kind of spitting in the face with like Final Destination there, like when they're going up like the railings and shit. Because the guys, as like they're walking up the railings, especially Becky, you can see like the screws coming loose.
Oh, dude.
And starting to like come off and stuff. And it's like, oh, this is great. This is just fucking wonderful.
I would have took 2 fucking glances at that ladder and said, all right, guys, I'll meet you at the house.
Because she even said it's about to be condemned. It's abandoned, a building about to be condemned. Don't climb it.
Or like have pads at the bottom or something. Just take super cautionary shit.
Exactly.
Because somebody just fucking died.
You're going to be out in the open for 1,000 feet.
Yes.
It's just like when she said that, it's like, oh, well, that sounds like a wonderful idea. What the hell? No.
And it's been done in every fucking movie like this, but I love the ladder falling. I love that moment of impending doom in these, whenever that happens, when the fucking ladder breaks and everywhere, and you're just sitting like, we're fucked. We don't have a way down. We're screwed now. Like everybody.
I love how the ladder crashes though while Becky's on it, and she still thinks the ladder's there. When she gets up top.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, the ladder. Bitch, the ladder fell.
The ladder fell.
You were on it.
The ladder fell.
Like you were on it when it fell. It fell underneath you.
Yeah.
Of course it's gone.
It was your fat ass. And by the way, Becky, Grace Curry, who somebody I am a fan of.
I thought I recognized the name.
Yes, she is taking Hollywood by storm, and she is somebody that I think is going to be a big actress within the next 10 years because not only is she Mary Marvel in Shazam, in the second Shazam, which I love her, and I thought that if those movies, especially Shazam, was really well received, but she was a big part of Shazam too, and I wish that movie would have done better because I think she was going to get a spinoff or something, but she is someone the fans like, and that she is a good actress. And she was also in Annabelle, the second one, I believe. So,
okay. Annabelle Creation or Annabelle 2?
I think Creation.
Okay.
But she is a good actress. I think she did a great job in here. I thought Hunter was great too, but that's the thing. The whole cast was completely solid. And it was perfect. And those 2 women really do carry the movie. And
especially because, I don't know, I'm sorry to cut you off, but I don't know if you know this or not, because I actually watched a lot of documentaries, of course, that's what I do, of the girls, even though they were only 1,000 feet in the air, because they handmade the tower, it wasn't 2,000, it was only 1,500.
Yeah.
The girls did all the stunt work themselves.
Yeah.
The director and the creator the filmmaker actually had to take everything that they filmed, put it in a room, and dissect everything and do this thing that they normally do with Japanese called vocal dubbing. I'm sure you're known to it, but they did the CGI point of it, because if they would have deleted all the scenes that the girls said fucking, it would have been a 30-minute movie.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding you, because they wanted it to be PG-13. You only get so many F words in PG-13.
Yeah.
So, like, they were kind of screwed because everyone was gone. Everyone did their job. It was the end of the day, and the director's like, oh no.
Yeah.
We have a problem.
Yeah. Houston, we're screwed. But
so yeah, but go ahead.
I really I enjoyed the psychological breakdown of Becky. And I think Grace Curry she pulled it off in a phenomenal way. And it's one of those, because we go from talking about horror that's an ensemble with 8 people that are all getting slaughtered, and then we do things that are like this when it's a camera on one person's face for the most of the fucking film. And
she was a fighter.
She was a fighter.
She had some fucking huts, but the fact that she got up that tower and shit, like, I'm going too far. Sorry. Go ahead. I'm going too far.
Well, I mean, let's give the backdrop of, obviously we already talked about Mason Gooding, Dan, which, but he fucking bites the dust in the beginning of the movie, and Hunter, her friend Shiloh, she,
after being called by Becky's dad.
Yes, after being called by Pops, she wants Becky to go on this big climb with her in this tower in the desert. That it's an old TV cable tower, and they're going to climb up there 2,000 feet, right?
2,500.
And they're going to climb up there, and they're going to spread old Danny Boy's ashes. And they're going to spread it at the top, and it's going to be a symbolic thing. And that's the whole backdrop of the movie. The tower's where most of the movie takes place, and that's both of the women climb up. We kind of got to the part where the ladder breaks down and fucking shatters, and then they're by themselves on top of the tower. Like, what the fuck do we do?
And they dropped their bag.
And they dropped their bag with the drone in it, which is pretty important.
The drone, their water, their protein bars, everything they needed.
And it doesn't drop all the way to the floor. It drops on this little, like, one of the
satellite dishes.
Yeah, one of the satellite dishes on the thing. So they could get it, but the rope that they have only gets to, like, right before that.
Yeah.
It's only
50 feet long.
So it's a terrible experience for them. They don't have fun up there. We learned, I think, one of the most, because you always have which creature or animal are they going to have fuck with you in these type of movies. And in the fall one, it was wolves and shit like that. And Frozen. And in Frozen, it was the wolves. And in this one, it's fucking birds and vultures and shit.
Vultures!
And whenever you see a vulture at the beach, you're like, those little fucking eating up that half slice of pizza. But then you always forget, if I died right now, someone shoots me in the fucking head. And I
don't move for like 15 minutes. These fuckers are going to start pulling me like a buffet.
And I always forget going into this movie, because I was like, oh, that's not realistic. But then I looked it up and it's like, oh, it is. I always forget that I always thought, you have to be completely dead for a vulture to start picking at you. But if they know, or they sense, or they smell that decaying on you that you're about to go, or you're or just seriously fucking wounded, they'll start gnawing at that shit.
Especially if you're not moving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, and Becky deals with that in an interesting way later on in the movie. That's certainly a way
she deals with that.
But they're stuck on this fucking thing, and it does get revealed, which is, there's 2 big twists in the movie. This one twist is kind of just a little, like, let's add some plot to it, which is that old Hunter was getting down with old Dan, and they were fucking.
Yeah, because Dan has a way of saying I love you, which is 143. Yeah. A lot of guys do it that way. I don't particularly like that saying. I think that if you're saying 143 to somebody, that you're probably saying I love you to someone else. And Hunter had taken her shoe off so they could stuff her cell phone in her shoe and send it down there and try and get a signal. Didn't work. It was a good idea, though. It was a good try. A for effort. Unfortunately, though, when Becky's sitting there watching her wedding video, she notices that Hunter looks pissed.
Yeah.
And then she looks over and she sees Hunter's tattoo on her foot that says 143.
Yep. And
immediately Becky's just like, never put it together why Dan couldn't say I love you.
Yeah.
He always said 143. And like Hunter's face just went blank.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, she knows. She knows. And like Hunter tried doing the whole it was a mistake shit. And Becky's like, no, it wasn't a mistake. You guys were together for 4 months.
You're not gonna
That was not a mistake.
First of all, you're not gonna get a mistake tattooed on your body.
Yeah.
So like fucking that's
like you
permanent.
were in love with him. You said it. You said you loved him. Like
and obviously she deserves to get caught with that. I understand that it's like on the ankle, it's like not for everybody to see, but it's still fucking. If you get somebody, if you're fucking around with your best friend and you're getting them tattooed on your body, then you shouldn't get mad when they find out.
Yeah, you should
expect that to. And for Becky, I mean, God took care of that one pretty quick. I mean, we'll get more into that later, but. And it's not like they're bad people. People make mistakes. But
and she did immediately forgive her.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, they were cool. But when you're in a situation like that, you're like, fuck it. Let's just live and then I'll hate you. But the other really fucked up thing that happened is those assholes at the RV.
Oh my God.
Who were vibing, who were just chilling,
those
fucking
poor girls. They were up there for like 24 hours before they even like tried to get like real help.
Yeah.
And they like came across this like drug deal gone wrong in like the middle of the desert in an RV.
Yeah.
And they tried to get a hold of them. And all that happened was they stole their car because Hunter forgot to take the keys out.
Yeah, they just left them for death.
They
I love that moment because that's like I love because you and I don't.
They were getting so excited they were going like me and you were like look, we're gonna get out, we're gonna get out.
And you know, because you look at your watch, you're like, we still got some movie left. This is way too good to be fucking true.
Yeah.
And then they're just, and it's so simple. It's like, I thought it'd be a thing to where they try to get up or something, because it's always something like that. Like the guy tries to help it, but it was just some asshole like, no, fuck you, we're taking your car, see ya.
That's why I liked it so much, though, because that is reality.
It is reality.
Honestly, if some sketchy guy is in the middle of the desert in an RV doing a drug deal, he's not going to stop to help you. He's gonna steal your car.
Yeah, I really thought it worked in terms of the fucking movie, and I thought it was like that one chance of hope that just went completely left. And then you get to the scene where old Hunter says, "You know what? Fuck this shit. I'm gonna climb down and I'm gonna get our drone and our water and all our shit, and I'm gonna be a fucking
monkey
badass.
Man Hunter."
And it's about as, by the way, our mother watched this and she like described this to me like she almost had a panic attack.
She used our dog as a blanket, basically.
Yeah,
the dog where the dog needed to be moved.
Yeah, he ran away. The dog fucking ran because they're like, I'm sick of this shit. I'm not a therapy dog. And fucking, it was. I mean, this is a very anxious scene. And it's even more anxious later on. But it's anxious in the moment. And
well, yeah, because she's jumping and shit. And it's like, no.
Yes.
Because she's like, I'm going to let myself off the line and let myself fall. That's not a good idea.
That's not how it works, dude.
That is not a good idea. Do not do that.
No.
And somehow she miraculously made it. And then she's like, oh, the thing's swinging. I think if I jump, I can get it.
Yeah.
What?
What the hell are you doing?
No, I understand that you're fearless, but there's a difference between fearless and stupid.
Yeah.
So she pulls a stupid move and she gets onto the backpack, and Becky, unfortunately, even though she's got like a gaping wound in her thigh,
yeah,
and Hunter's like, oh, you gotta pull me up, and like, I'm sorry, but Hunter's like big, jacked, and like Becky's like itty bitty little, so it was just so heartbreaking and so struggling to watch her pull her up.
Yeah. It was hard to watch.
And whatnot. And then once Hunter gets up there, she starts acting weird.
Yeah. And she just makes it, but it was badass, and it was a show of strength on Becky's behalf. And both these women have been through so much. Mm-hmm. And she does start acting very weird.
Yeah, she starts saying things like the one time in the middle of the night, the one vulture was going after Becky, and even though Hunter was supposed to be watching to get the bird, to make sure the bird didn't hurt her, she didn't say anything.
Yeah.
Becky woke up to the bird just hurting her. And it was like, what the hell? Like, and then instead of saying, like, we need to drink water, she kept on saying, you need to drink water.
Yeah.
And then when it came to this one part, which honestly, beautifully shot, in my opinion, when she had, because Hunter shows her in the beginning of the film a life hack that she learned about living on the road in a restaurant and how to charge something that seems like it's never going to be charged.
Yeah.
And she shows her how to use the electrical current coming out of a light source to charge her phone.
Yeah.
So Becky literally like monkey crawls this thing to get the drone that they need charged by using not only the plug, but her wedding ring.
Yeah.
And the whole time, Hunter is there instead helping her, but she's singing the song that Becky uses as her ringtone.
Ooh.
Cherry Pie.
Yeah.
And she keeps singing Cherry Pie. Sweet surprise. Yeah. Like that whole thing. So like, and it's just like she keeps on going over and over and over. She's like, that's my cherry pie. Woo, 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 cherry pie. And it's like, I don't think this is right. No. And then like she gets up there, she charges the thing, she beats the shit out of some falcons or vultures or whatnot, and she gets down and everything. And then she's like at this point they've lost all hope. And this is when like the third twist is about to come.
Yes.
And you notice that Hunter looks completely out of it. Like more out of it than Becky does.
Yeah. And
Becky's like, I think we should send another signal. And Hunter's like, with what? And she's like, I have my phone. And she's like, yeah, but what are we going to use for the padding? And she's like, your shoe. And Hunter's like, my shoe isn't here. And she's like, yes, it is. Your shoe's on her foot. And she's like, no, my shoe's down there. And like Becky looks, and there's a dead Hunter.
Yeah.
Laying there. She never made the jump, guys.
And if you didn't get it with the water thing, then
this poor girl had been sitting there. Yeah, she did get the backpack up and whatnot, so she could drink and everything and keep herself hydrated. But I mean, that's why Hunter was saying those things to her, like, you need to drink, you need to stay up, you need to have sustenance.
Yeah.
Like, just those kind of things. And it wasn't obvious, honestly. I didn't notice it until the second run around, but you do find out that Hunter did not survive and she's dead. And she tells Becky why she's dead. She's like, look, Bex, I'm pretty sure that your mind couldn't handle losing both me and your man.
Yeah.
So, Tom, I think his name was. And she's like, so your psyche, when I died, made me come back up here with you.
Yeah.
So I am a hallucination. And she's like, it's okay, you hated me anyway. And she's like, no, I didn't. And it's like, bitch, you know you hated her. Like, she dated your husband for 4 months. Yeah. You know you hated her. Like, there was going to be some therapy needed.
Yep.
And, like, all of a sudden, Becky just clicks and goes into survivor mode. And this has to be one of my favorite segments in this movie. Even bigger than the climb in the freaking tower, because that was impressive. Yeah. She literally makes the jump that Hunter could not make and gets herself down to Hunter's body, and she kills herself some vulture. Now, I'm going to have to look this up because I'm pretty sure she could have gotten very sick from that. I don't think vultures are good to eat, especially raw.
Oh, no.
But she did what she needed to do.
The same thing was eating her leg.
And then, like, she really, like, you could tell she had no more fucks given. Like, she was just beating the crap out of the damn thing. And, like, grabbed the one off Hunter, snapped its neck, and then started eating it. And it's like, oh, she snapped. And then like all of a sudden she starts ripping Hunter's body open. And she's like, I'm so sorry. I'm really sorry. And she like takes Hunter's other shoe off and fucking shoves her shoe with her phone in her chest cavity. And it's just like, I'm sorry. And like throws her off the fucking radio tower.
She did what she had to do.
And that's how she survived.
She fucked her man. She did what she had to do. And then that's how her dad found out. And her dad called the capolas. And then they showed up and saved the day. Mm-hmm. And I'm glad that Becky made it. And I thought, like I said, star performance for Grace Curry. I thought that was a great ending. And I really, this was a character arc of this chick that had to grieve and move on from this thing while dealing with the same trauma head on.
You needed a range for the actress. And she did a very, very good job. She did a very good range.
Yeah. And I think for a real test for her in her career, I thought she nailed it out of the park. Mm-hmm. So overall, I thought this movie was one of the better Heights movies I've ever seen. And one of the like scarier, more like every like scene you were like, your heart was fucking pumping.
I would agree. It was definitely an adrenaline pumping movie.
Yes,
it was definitely like oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
There was not a lot of dull moments.
There really wasn't. It's like oh no, the ladder's falling. Oh my god.
Yes.
And then like and then she jumps and you're like oh no, I don't think she made it.
Yes.
So it's very suspenseful, but the reason why we're doing this is because for some reason, I don't know why, but for some reason there's gonna be a fall 2 and a fall 3.
Yeah.
I'm guessing fall 2, even though they said is gonna be a sequel. I'm thinking more a prequel because they did cast both actresses again.
Oh, they're coming back?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So, and the girl that plays Becky is in the third one. This is her trilogy, basically. This is like Ty West meets Mia Goth thing.
Very good, very good.
So, this will be a full standing trilogy, but I don't know how it's going to pan out. I just know that it is. But honestly, get on Hulu. Watch it. I totally recommend it. Daniel hasn't asked me yet, but I would at least give it 9 radio towers. I'm going to go up to 9 because of the fact that even though it was a bigger budget and there was some indiness through it, the fact that they were able to go over their faces and do CGI dubbing so they didn't have a 30-minute movie.
Yeah. And it was like a $3 million. It's not that big.
I mean, and the fact that like the girls that like if you look through the credits, there's no subtitles.
Yeah.
Well, no stunt doubles. Those young ladies, they did the stunts on their own.
Yeah.
Like when they're hanging off the tower and shit and like acting like idiots, that's their own thing. That's them.
It's badass. It's a badass movie. I give it a 9 as well. I thought that this was very expertly done. I thought all actors in this movie, even the side characters, were fucking tremendous. Yeah. It was awesome seeing my boy Negan in this bitch and seeing Mason Gooding. And also the 2 actresses carried the movie. And I thought it was very fucking well done. Mm-hmm. And it was it's one of those scary movies that's not traditionally scary. It focuses on real life shit to make it scary, and I love that. Yeah. So this is a 9, and I would highly recommend to watch this.
Absolutely, and you can even watch this with like your teenager because it's PG-13.
Yeah, and it's not like it's anything crazy. It's just real life shit.
No, there's not really any gore. There's I mean, there's a little bit of gore, but there's not really a lot of gore. There's not really a lot of swearing.
Yeah.
This is a very good piece. If your teenager comes to you and says, I want to watch a scary movie,
Yes.
this is a good one to introduce them to.
It is.
So it is found on Hulu, and we would definitely recommend that you watch it.
I would recommend it all day. All right.
He's got another movie involved.
You ready to see
Oh, no.
You ready to see what we're going to do next
There
week?
we go.
We're going to come back with a movie that they tried to do the Dark Universe. It didn't work. They came back with this. We're going to review The Invisible Man. It came out in 2020.
I hate that movie. It's okay, though. I'll try. I'll try watching it for
you make me watch dog shit sometimes. This one was good.
I would rather us watch the 1925 version. Can we watch the 1925 version?
No, we're watching the 2020 version. You're going to fucking like it. And we're going to review it next week. We'll see everybody next week on the Stab.
Anywho.
Who do you